Welcome to the 13th annual Pink Tie Affair. We're so thrilled that you're here with us to go through our 13 eras. We really wish we were at a concert enjoying all of the fun. We know that this probably is not the greatest place to celebrate eras, but we're really proud of the fact that we have been here for 13 years. We have celebrated, we have cried, we have helped so many families. And so we are thrilled that these 13 families have offered so bravely to share their story with you tonight. And we're hoping that you take the time to listen with your heart and know what a difference your donations are making, not only tonight, but through the whole year. So without further ado, here's our Eras Tour.
There was no baby in my arms to take home. I had an empty car seat in the pickup.
I still feel her bless my life all the time.
He was just gone. 20 weeks of excitement and he was just gone.
Ramsey Keller stepped in when things were the worst that they were in our entire life.
So we were the first family that the Ramsey Keller Memorial was able to help. And throughout all these years, we have seen how much the Ramsey Keller Memorial has been a blessing to families. We've seen how it's grown.
The Ramsey Keller Memorial handled everything for us. Thanks to them, such a difficult time in our lives was made that much easier by not having to focus on the financial aspect of our loss.
No one plans a funeral for their child, or burial dress, or a headstone, or picking out caskets. No one plans for that, and no one wants to plan for that.
All of a sudden you have to think of, what am I going to do to pay for this funeral when we were planning on having a new baby to love and to hold and to, have with us. And so you really, the Ramsey Keller Memorial comes in at your lowest moment to just give you that little glimmer of hope that you can get through it.
The impact that they made on my life was not only giving me the funeral that they deserved, but also giving me a space that I can go visit my children whenever I'd like, birthdays, holidays, a place that I could go remember them.
So it's just so meaningful, the impact and the donations. Not only do they matter and they help families, but they help give families that break that they need.
If the Ramsey Keller Memorial hadn't helped us and been this organization for families across the state of Montana, I don't know if we would have been able to afford to pay for a funeral, let alone even know where to start. The Ramsey Keller Memorial had helped walk us through the process, help us get set up with what we needed to do, how we needed to go about things, who we should contact, gave us all the materials we needed to move forward and help our family start healing.
They took a lot of stress off of our family so we could focus on the main thing, and that was our girls.
Like I said, I was a shell of myself, and making decisions and even worrying about a burden of financial costs and how we were going to take care of that was it couldn't even be on my mind. So the loss of a child is probably one of the worst things that you can imagine as a family. And having the RKM Foundation as an option and the support to families at such a difficult time in their lives, I think is an amazing foundation.
We had our first healthy baby in 2019, a baby girl named Kellen, and then we got pregnant again a year and a half after that, and we're going to do it again. And then we got some awful news, so we were really caught off guard by that, and it's a very devastating time in our lives.
So then from there, like within the next week when we went to see the specialist, we found out that he would either pass away in utero or pass away after he was born. So living with that, waking up each morning, is this going to be the day that my child's going to pass away? And like looking at my belly and wondering, is he alive? Is he gone? And not knowing that was so hard. That he lived with the fluid, like suffocating his heart essentially for 11 weeks. And so like Sean's parents and him, even just like this phrase came about that Lincoln always had the heart of a lion, because the medical professionals didn't know why he was still alive. So to be able to have him alive and look into his eyes and have him pass away in my arms was so important to me. And then because of the Ramsey Keller Memorial, we got to keep him with us in our room because of like a special bed that you guys had donated to the hospital, so we could keep him with us even after he had passed. And I think for a family that has gone through this, they really know how impactful that is before you say goodbye after having just met him. It's unreal.
When we went to the funeral home, we were able to talk with them, and they confirmed, hey, you are not going to be spending a penny to bring your son home. It was such, I can't even tell you how much of a relief it was in that dark time.
No parent should have to deal with paying for a funeral on top of grieving their child. So Ramsey Keller stepped in and they helped us at such an unimaginable time.
The entire time you're like, well, when the baby's here, and there was no when. It was never there. First thing after she was born, everything kind of got settled down. They brought us a folder, told us about the Ramsey Keller Memorial. And it's crazy because I never thought that I would have to plan that. I knew the baby wasn't coming home with us, but I didn't think about we have to plan now a funeral or cremate her or bury her. And so that just took a lot of burden off of us.
Even when we held her, I don't think either of us were thinking, hey, we need to make funeral arrangements. It was just savoring that time that we had with her as much as we could.
Just taking that burden off of not even having to think about it. We just had to go to the funeral home and pick out what we wanted. Made it so much easier.
It helped. It gave a lot of encouragement. It gave a lot more understanding. And it's nice to not feel like you have to do it alone.